Hi guys, Obi Dave here.
And I am Ash.
Together we're Obi Dave and I am Ash.
Yes, and someone said in the comments that they missed the "We are a lovely bunch of YouTubers" deedly dee.
That's why no one's watching anymore.
Here we are to entertain you. Obi Dave, I am Ash, here to make you laugh.
Anyway, right, good news today. Some people have said when you become fully qualified as an electrician, please carry on with YouTube.
Yes.
We do plan on carrying it on as long as you guys will have us. But today I passed my level 2 in electrical something.
18th edition.
No, I did that a couple of weeks ago, but the specific name of the course eludes me, even though I literally just put it on Instagram about a minute ago. But it's made up of so many smaller modules that I've always focused on, like, you know, doing the science week, electrotechnology, installations, all that stuff. But I passed it, and this week my science exam and my electrotechnology exam, I've got distinctions in both.
Ooh, fancy pants.
So there you go, 93%. It's actually 92.5.
Yeah.
Because each question's worth 2.5%.
Okay.
92.5 on my electrotechnology today and 85 on my science exam. So I am officially a scientist.
A scientist of electrical.
I'm just saying it's to trigger you.
I know. But the thing is, everybody most people are scientists these days because it's a science of a certain thing. If you are a specialist in your area, you are a scientist of that. That's why, because obviously for a long time we've misused the word scientist because we think of it as a person in the lab, but it's not.
Sorry, belly's full of food. I was just getting a bit sleepy there.
You nearly said fluid.
Right, do me a favour though, if you're watching this, because I feel like we might be getting throttled a tiny bit, and I know a lot of people say that. It might be right, it might be wrong, you know. Maybe it just is what it is.
Yeah. Or
like the video and just comment what you'd like to see more of on the channel. And the more comments and likes we can get, hopefully the more people see it. And then we can get back on track a little bit.
But yeah, also, obviously, catering to you guys. You're our subscribers. We appreciate you. And the things that you want to see, we want to do. So, loads of suggestions.
Yeah,
this was a suggestion that we haven't done Louis C.K. for quite some time. So, this is what we're doing this evening.
Yeah, 100%. My head has been swimming recently. So, if the choice of video has been... I've kind of picked things that I thought that we like more.
Yeah.
Like Beard Meets Food, we've always been a fan of and things like that.
Love
Stop short
Guy.
of Google Foods because I like to keep Google for myself.
I get that.
But yeah, anyway, right, we're going to do Louis C.K. funniest stand-up jokes.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
You sure?
I think so.
Let's go for it then.
Hey, this is interesting. The other day, a guy told me to suck a bag of dicks. That was interesting. I never heard that before. Total stranger told me to suck a bag of dicks. A whole bag of them.
It's a great insult.
Yeah.
He was angry. He didn't just, suck a bag of dicks like a greeting. Oh, suck a bag of dicks to you too, sir. Thank you very much. Yes. It's a lovely day for sucking several bags of dicks. No, what happened was I cut him off in traffic. It was just one of those things where I had to get in, and no one was in my car to judge me, and I just fucking, I just decided he's not me, so I don't care what happens to him, and I just cut him off. It's just a shitty thing to do. And it was bad because he was coming fast because he didn't imagine in a million years someone could be that big of an asshole. And so when I did it, he had to slam on his brakes, and his dog went poof in the windshield. It was really very bad. Very bad. And the worst part is when you cut people off, they don't vanish. They're behind you now. So I'm looking back and he's like, fuck us! He's so mad! And he keeps trying to get next to me because he just wants to see my fucking face. He's like, I gotta see this cocksucker now. I gotta see the fucking face of the piece of shit that just did that to me. And I keep cutting him off because I don't want him to see. I'm ashamed of what I did. Nope, you don't. Finally, we get to a red light, and I gotta face him. Only because there's a car in front of me, otherwise I would have fucking blown right through there. But there he is, just fucking... I'm like, I know, it was awful, I shouldn't have done it. I'm not mad, I was wrong, why would I be mad? And he's like, going, fuck you! And then he starts going like this, because he wants me to roll my window down, like I'm supposed to take part in my own abuse during this argument. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to miss this. What do you have to say about me? Yes?
It's so true.
How rude of me to shut out your anger with my... So I did. I rolled it down. I'm interested.
Oh, dear.
And he goes, hey, asshole. And I'm like, yeah. He says, suck a bag of dicks. And then he drove away.
It's so funny because I haven't cut people off, but people have cut me off. And the way he's describing like the anger, no, I have not. I have not got the guts to do it. Anyway, and I've done it with like, I am trying to get up next to them and I'm like fucking raise your window down, you fucking bag of dicks. Sort of thing. I told you about the woman the other day where she got right into my rear end. Like she was basically in the front seat with me. She was so up my ass. So I just took my foot off the accelerator. I was just like, if you're going to drive that dangerously close to me, I'm going to make you even more angry.
I'm glad you didn't say you dabbed your brakes, because
that's
don't. Illegal and we don't admit to doing things like that.
I've had someone do that to me when we're in traffic and we're crawling and they dab, dab, dab. And it's like, I can't be far away. There is people behind me. Like, just drive. Or when people flash their hazards, because immediately I think, oh, what's ahead? Because it's not in the highway code, but here in the UK, it's a sort of unspoken thing.
It's how you say thank you to people.
You
flash your hazards.
You flash your hazards, or if there's something ahead, like on the motorway, if someone slams on their brakes, there's a queue suddenly forming, you flash your hazards to warn the people behind you that I'm slamming on my brakes for real. I'm not just braking because I think I'm going too fast. So this woman, I just took my foot off the accelerator. She got really close. I was like, well, I'm in a little banger. You're in a fancy, like, I think it was an Audi.
I've had twice on the way to college. It's like the land of roundabouts before you get to college.
Yeah.
And there's a mobile speed camera van sits in a bush between two of the roundabouts.
Right.
But it's a 40 mile an hour zone, but it's long enough that most people are doing 50, 60 because it's just a long straight. And I was going and someone was flashing me a couple of weeks ago. So instantly that's the universal sign of slow down because there's cops there.
Yeah.
So I did slow down. And then when I got to college, because I'm usually early, I text the group chat and said, it's a speed camera. And a couple of people just went, fuck. Didn't see him. And I get yesterday there again.
Yeah.
And luckily I get there before most people. And text the group again, and I was like, just be careful.
Just be careful.
Bastards.
But it's a careful thing. It's like, but obviously this woman, she was desperate to get up alongside me to do the same as this guy is like trying to obviously have a go at me. I could see her in my rearview mirror, like proper, like losing her mind behind me. And same thing, got onto a dual carriageway and I knew she was going to go for the outer lane. So I was just like, I'm just going to pull into the outer lane. And every time she tried to change, I just changed back so she couldn't overtake me.
It's petty. My
Don't get close then. Don't stress another driver out.
My attitude now, because I'm driving a pickup truck, is fucking come near me. I'm not asked.
Whereas I'm like, my car is literally the shittest car on the planet.
You know those steps on the side?
It's going to cost you more.
Those steps on the side to get in?
Yeah.
Replaceable.
Oh, really?
You want to come too close and scrape the side of me? I'll just fucking replace the step after I beat this.
Do you know what they have in South Africa? I know, quickly. You know what they have in South Africa?
Flamethrowers.
Yeah.
Yeah, flamethrowers. Oh, because of carjackings are that bad. Yeah.
And I was kind of sad that he drove away because I had a lot of questions. That concept of sucking a bag of dicks, it's just weird. Like, first of all, when you picture a bag of dicks, what do you see when you picture a bag of dicks? Is it like a plastic bag and they're all mushed in together like chicken parts and with a date written on it with Sharpie, keep it in the freezer? Or is it like a paper bag and they're sticking out like baguettes, kind of like you went shopping? Bringing home a bag of dicks for the kids? Here you go, Susie, take a blue one, you know, like a little...
Jesus.
I don't know, they were hanging in a window somewhere. Give me 2 of those. And how do you suck a bag of dicks? What does he want me to do? Does he want me to take a bag of dicks and suck it? Like suck the side of the bag? Or does he want me to open the bag and suck each dick individually? And throw the used ones in a bowl like edamame shells? Like that? Do I have to make them all come? Is it, like how? You can't answer a kid's question. They don't accept any answer. A kid never goes, oh, thanks, I get it. They fucking never say that. They just keep coming. More questions. Why? Till you don't even know who the fuck you are anymore at the end of the conversation. It's an insane deconstruction. It's amazing. This is my daughter the other day. She's like, Papa, why can't we go outside? Well, because it's raining. Why? Well, water's coming out of the sky. Why? Because it was in a cloud. Why? Well, clouds form when there's vapor. Why? I don't know. I don't know any more things. Those are all the things I know. Why? Because I'm stupid, okay? I'm stupid. Why? Well, because I didn't pay attention in school, okay? I went to school, but I didn't listen in class. Why? Because I was high all the time. I smoked too much pot. Why? Because my parents gave me no guidance. They didn't give a shit. Why? Because they fucked in a car and had me, and they resented me for taking their youth. Why? Because they had bad morals. They just had no compass. Why? Because they had shitty parents. It just keeps going like that. Why? Because fuck it, we're alone in the universe. Nobody gives a shit about us. I'm going to stop here to be polite to you for a second. But this goes on for hours and hours, and it gets so weird and abstract at the end. It's like, why? Well, because some things are and some things are not. Why? Well, because things that are not can't be. Why? Because then nothing wouldn't be. You can't have fucking nothing isn't. Everything is. Why? Because if nothing wasn't, there'd be fucking all kinds of shit that we don't like, giant ants with top hats dancing around. There's no room for all that shit. Why? I'll fuck you, eat your french fries, you little shit, god damn it.
My dad used to just say, when I would keep going with the why, he'd go, because I said so.
I've done that a couple of times.
Yeah.
Other times I've just gone, shut up, for God's sake. I don't know. What are you on about? But why? And then sometimes I flip it back on him.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, that's the good one. When they're like, why? And then I explain something slightly, and then I'm like, well, why do you ask? And then they start going, well, I just wanted to know. And I'm like, but why did you want to know that? And then see how long you can do it back to them before they notice what you're doing to them. You don't just say why, but you just keep throwing questions back, see if you can get 4 or 5 out there before they notice.
I've been lucky enough that your kids don't do that to me. I think when they ask why and I go into the science, generally, like Phoebe just goes dead quiet and Oscar's just like, oh.
Information.
Like, no, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, this, of course, but maybe, is like, it's one of his, is an amazing bit.
Okay.
It just came up across the top there.
Yeah.
It just rings a bell, that's all.
Damn it. You have your bad thoughts. Hopefully you do good things. Everybody has a competition in their brain of good thoughts and bad thoughts. Hopefully the good thoughts win. For me, I always have both. I have like the thing I believe, the good thing. That's the thing I believe. And then there's this thing. And I don't believe it, but it is there. It's always this thing and then this thing. It's become a category in my brain that I call, of course, but maybe. I'll give you an example. Okay, like of course, children who have nut allergies need to be protected. Of course. We have to segregate their food from nuts, have their medication available at all times, and anybody who manufactures or serves food needs to be aware of deadly nut allergies. Of course. But maybe, maybe if touching a nut kills you, you're supposed to die. Of course not. Of course not.
We all have that.
Of course not.
We all have that.
Jesus. I have a nephew who has that. I'd be devastated if something happened to him. But maybe, maybe, if we all just do this for 1 year, we're done with nut allergies forever. No, of course not. Of course, if you're fighting for your country and you get shot or hurt, it's a terrible tragedy. Of course. Of course. But maybe if you pick up a gun and go to another country and you get shot, it's not that weird. Maybe if you get shot by the dude you were just shooting at, it's a tiny bit your fault.
Oh dear.
Of course, slavery is the worst thing that ever happened. Listen, you all clapped for dead kids with the nuts. For kids dying from nuts, you applauded. So you're in this with me now. Do you understand? You don't get to cherry pick. Those kids did nothing to you. Of course, slavery is the worst thing that ever happened. Of course it is. Every time it's happened. Black people in America, Jews in Egypt, every time a whole race of people has been enslaved, it's a terrible, horrible thing. Of course. But maybe every incredible human achievement in history was done with slaves. Every single thing where you go, how did they build those pyramids? They just threw human death and suffering at them until they were finished. How did we traverse the nation with a railroad so quickly? We just threw Chinese people in caves and blew them up and didn't give a shit what happened to them. There's no end to what you can do when you don't give a fuck about particular people. You can do anything. That's where human greatness comes from. We're shitty people and we fuck others over.
Yep.
Even today, how do we have this amazing microtechnology? Because the factory where they're making these, they jump off the fucking roof because it's a nightmare in there. You really have a choice. You can have candles and horses and be a little kinder to each other, or let someone suffer immeasurably far away just so you can leave a mean comment on YouTube while you're taking a shit.
That is so true. We all have that. I have that. We all have that sort of, isn't it? They call it like the ego and the super ego, isn't it? Because you'll have that little bit of, but maybe, you know, it's almost like that little bit of badness, and it's who you like win. Because if you're a good person, it's like of course you're going to protect children. You're going to, you know, put labels of warning about, you know, contact with nuts and things like that. But yeah, like you talk about, like it's like with people who suffered leprosy back, and obviously they just put them on an island, didn't they?
Yeah.
Solved the problem. But
because it's highly contagious, isn't it? That's not like a nut allergy where it's like it's not like you can catch a nut allergy.
No, but I know what you're saying. But it sounds awful, because you think about, like, put it in this terms with Darwinism and the spotted, I think it's the spotted moth. They started off as like a white spotty moth, and then obviously when the ones that were genetically mutated to be black were the ones that were picked off the tree by the birds because they stood out. They didn't match the tree bark.
Right.
Then the Industrial Revolution hit, and all the smog and soot and everything covered those trees, and it was the black ones that survived and the white ones that got picked off. So it was that gene pool that outlived and grew. So survival of it. So it sounds horrible, but
maybe.
Of course we're going to do the right thing because we're good people. But
thing is,
maybe.
comedy, I think, is all about misdirection and left turns.
Yes.
Like, you don't just go on stage and say something shocking.
No.
That's easy to do, and some people make careers out of it. But if you can lure people into a false sense of security and then shock them with some sort of left turn that came out of nowhere, the misdirection is where a lot of the humour comes from.
Bill Burr does it in reverse. He just says something really arsehole-like, and then he turns
backtracks
it
and justifies.
Then you can't be angry at him, so you get angry, and then you're like, well, actually. Whereas like Louis C.K. is a completely different spectrum, where he's like, you do the right thing, but
Bill Burr is, his left turn is to go to the justification.
Yeah.
Whereas Louis C.K. kind of pre-justifies the things and says awful things.
Yeah.
And Bill Burr, a lot of the time, just says the awful thing and then
justifies
it. But either way, it's still a misdirect.
I get you.
I think Louis C.K. is just one of the absolute kings of it.
He's amazing. I think he's fantastic. I think he's so funny.
Did you follow the whole thing when he got cancelled? And what it was for and things?
No.
Oh, he's one of the big ones.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, he got caught up in the Me Too thing. But not like he came out and sort of admitted whatever he did or didn't do. And basically he had a kink that was like beating his meat in front of people. And always consensually. This is like the consensus that came from it. I wasn't there. He never beat his meat in front of me.
Although you'd take it. Sorry. Because it's Louis C.K.
No. No, what I'd be concerned about is if it's bigger than mine, because we're both ginger. So I'd be like, if he gets out a bigger ginger dick than mine, I'd be a bit upset. And if it's smaller, I'd be like, well, I'm the king of the gingers in this room, so it's all right. That is literally where my mind would go.
Sorry.
But no, I think the reason he got caught up in it was because some of the people were like fellow female comedians.
Right.
And then people said off the back of the Me Too thing, there was a power dynamic where he was essentially their boss because they were opening for him. He lost his TV show.
Shame.
He lost it cost him tens of millions of dollars. He was doing Hollywood movies at the time, a really successful sitcom.
Wow.
Everything just got canned overnight because no one would be associated with him. When really, even I think the comics, like the girls that he did it in front of, have come out and been like, I said he could. But still, because there was a power dynamic of like he's technically their boss. It's creepy. It's weird.
It is, but if it's consensual, then what's the problem? It's the same as like you talked about that YouTuber that was really big with doing like kids things, wasn't it?
Oh no, yeah. Well, let's not talk about that just yet because it's a developing situation.
Oh, is it still developing?
I don't know enough about it to comment
make a judgment.
about it.
Okay.
Because it's literally come out today.
Okay.
And I've watched one video, so I wouldn't want to talk about it.
Okay. But we have heard of different situations where somebody becomes famous and then it's always the case. They dig up this dirt and it's like, as long as they're not hurting people, they're not doing things against people's will.
Yeah.
Your little kinks behind the scene is your little kinks. I don't
You know
understand.
what it was, though?
Also
It's
not
like-
hurting animals. That kink should not be existent.
It's off the back of Harvey Weinstein, though, and you could argue, and he would argue that a lot of what he did was consensual, but it was coerced, it was casting couch, and that's kind of what people try to throw Louis C.K. in there, that implying that he's giving opportunities to comedians because they let him, which I don't think was the case. But
no, but I get, yes, I suppose what you're saying is like they're being extra cautious. It's like the whole thing with the ex-bullies here in this country is now they're no longer allowed because of, there's been a number of attacks.
Yeah.
Okay, so it goes too far after, okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
And it was a crazy time where anyone who's ever done anything slightly inappropriate, there was a lot of clout to be got in cancelling people and trying to ruin people's careers and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't know about that. It was about 5 years ago.
But remember, you introduced me to Louis C.K.
That's true, actually.
So why would I have followed him? Why would I have known his story?
We could react to a bit of Louis C.K.'s sitcom.
Ooh, he did a sitcom?
That's what I mean. He had a show.
Oh, when you said
his
his show, I thought it said meant something like Conan.
No, it's literally called Louis, and it's him playing himself.
No.
But in a sitcom, just
no.
It's kind of like Curb Your Enthusiasm, but I didn't like Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I like
really.
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
But it's that style,
right?
But for me, a lot funnier and a bit more for me.
Excuse me.
Anyway, right, let us know if you'd be interested in seeing that. And like I said, do us a favour, like the video, comment, let us know what you want to see.
Yeah.
Let's do it for the algorithm and let's just see if we can get the ball rolling a little bit more.
Absolutely. And make sure you check out our Patreon. We are doing live watch-alongs with of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which I'm absolutely loving. Obviously, Dave's seen most of them.
I've seen all of it. Multiple times.
We've got a few things in the work with Always Sunny as well. Obviously, things have slowed down a bit for us because of Dave's studying. So if you see the same T-shirts and things, it's because we're trying to do sessions. But once Dave is
We're
fully
not at the
qualified,
point where we film our sessions just yet.
not fully. No, God. I fell into that one, didn't I? I'm so gullible.
Anyway, we're going to get out of here. Cheers for that one, guys. Cheers for your support, as always. And we will see you all very, very soon.
Bye, guys.